Applications of derivatives. First topic is increasing or decreasing function. In this section, we are going to discuss about a given function f of x is increasing or decreasing in an interval I. So this interval I is considered as the set of all real numbers or the real line R. So in this real line R, we are going to discuss about whether the function f of x is increasing or decreasing. For this, let us consider any two real numbers. Let us take x1 and x2 belongs to this real line. Now, either this x1 less than x2 or x1 is greater than x2. Let us take x1 is less than x2. If these two numbers are in the form x1 less than x2, then its function values f of x1 and f of x2 satisfies the condition less than or equal to. Okay. F of x1 is less than f of x2 or f of x1 is less than or equal to f of x2. Then we can say that, listen, f is increasing or strictly increasing in the given interval I. Suppose it is strictly less than, then we can say that the given function is strictly increasing. Okay, strictly increasing in the interval I. Now, f of x1 is less than or equal to f of x2, then we can say that the given function f is increasing in the interval I. So, this is the first condition to check whether the function is increasing or decreasing. If it is not increasing, then we can say that it is decreasing. So, you have to by heart, if x1 is less than x2 implies f of x1 less than f of x2, then the function is strictly increasing. If x1 less than x2 implies f of x1 less than or equal to f of x2, then given function f is increasing. So this is strictly increasing and this one is or increasing function in the given interval I. So this is the basic concept of increasing or decreasing function. Now this is the chapter applications of derivatives. So we are going to take derivatives form, and using this derivative form we are going to discuss about how to check whether the function is increasing or decreasing in a particular interval. Okay. Now we are going to explain using derivatives how to find whether the function is increasing or decreasing. Suppose we have a function f of x. Okay. This is our function. If its derivative, what is the derivative of f of x? That is f dash of x. So this first derivatives is divided into 3. It is less than 0, greater than 0, equal to 0. Okay. First derivative less than 0, first derivative greater than 0, first derivative equal to 0. Listen, if f dash of x is less than 0, then we can say that the given function f of x is strictly decreasing. Okay, strictly decreasing. First derivative less than 0. Now, f dash of x greater than 0. Greater than 0 means it is a positive quantity. Then we can say that given function is strictly increasing. Okay, strictly increasing. So, less than implies strictly decreasing. Greater than implies strictly increasing. Now, what about f dash of x equal to 0? When we say derivative equal to 0, what is the nature of the function f of x? Suppose f of x equal to 2. 2 is a constant number. So what is its derivative? F dash of x equal to 0. So f dash of x equal to 0 only when the given function is a constant, or f of x is a constant function. So keep in mind that we want to find the first derivative f dash of x and verify whether it is less than 0 or greater than 0. If it is less than 0, then it is strictly decreasing. If it is greater than 0, we can say that it is strictly increasing. Okay. So this is the basic condition to verify whether the function is increasing or decreasing function in an interval. Let's see some examples how to check the given function is increasing or decreasing. And also we will discuss about in which interval the given function is increasing and decreasing. That also we will discuss. Okay. See this example. F of x equal to 3x plus 17 is strictly increasing on R. Listen, here R is the interval. So some particular interval is not mentioned. It's a general interval. It is real line or set of for real numbers. In this case, we are going to take the condition for strictly increasing that. Listen, if x1 less than x2 implies f of x1 is less than f of x2. Okay. If we say a specific interval, just like suppose in interval 1, 2 or in interval 2, 3, then we can consider the derivatives form. Otherwise, we have to use this expression, this formula to verify or check the function is strictly increasing or decreasing. So, x1 and x2 are two numbers, two real numbers. x1 and x2 are any two real numbers. Let's start with this inequality. x1 is less than x2 implies, let us see the function. We have 3x plus 17. So the first step is multiplying by 3 on both sides. So this becomes 3x1 is less than 3x2. Again, we need plus 17. So next step is adding 17 on both sides. So this becomes 3x1 plus 17 is less than 3x2 plus 17. Our aim is to make the given inequality in the form of given function. So first we did multiplied with 3 and adding with 17. So listen, we have f of x equal to 3x plus 17. So what is 3x1 plus 17? It is f of x1. What is 3x2 plus 17? It is f of x2. This becomes 3x1 plus 17 is f of x1. 3x2 plus 17 is f of x2. Therefore, we have f of x1 is strictly less than f of x2. We started with x1 less than x2 and we got f of x1 is less than f of x2. See this expression. If x1 less than x2 implies f of x1 less than f of x2. Therefore, we can say that the given function f of x is strictly increasing. Okay, strictly increasing on real line. So this is the method of finding or verifying given function is strictly increasing or decreasing on a particular interval. Here, keep in mind, here the interval is real line. So we apply this expression. Otherwise, we need to use derivative form. We will discuss some more examples. Then we can see how to apply, how to verify these conditions. Okay. Let's see another example. Listen. We have f of x equal to sin x. Okay. f of x equal to sin x. We are going to find in interval 0 pi by 2. It is open interval 0 pi by 2. The given function is strictly increasing, and in the interval pi by 2 pi, the given function is strictly decreasing. So in this question, intervals are defined. One interval is 0 pi by 2 and another interval is pi by 2 pi. In this case, first we want to find the derivative of the function f of x. Let's start. F of x equal to sin x. What is its first derivative? F dash of x equal to cos x. Okay. F dash of x equal to cos x. Now think, for what value of x f dash of x becomes 0? What is cos 90? 90 means pi by 2. What is cos pi by 2? Cos pi by 2 is 0. That is, when we put x equal to pi by 2, f dash of x becomes, listen, f dash of x equal to cos pi by 2, cos pi by 2 equal to 0. So when x equal to pi by 2, first derivative becomes 0. So in the question there is an interval given 0 pi, open interval 0 pi. So this point pi by 2 divides 0 pi into two intervals. Let's see, we can express this interval in a real line. It is 0 pi, and this pi by 2 point divides 0 pi into two intervals. One of the interval is 0 pi by 2. Okay, 0 pi by 2, and second interval is pi by 2 pi. Now look at these two intervals. There is no common elements, and therefore these two intervals are disjoint interval. Okay, disjoint intervals. So the point pi by 2 divides 0 pi into two disjoint intervals, 0 pi by 2 and pi by 2 pi. Now take the first interval 0 pi by 2. We have f dash of x equal to cos x. Let us select some angles in between 0 to pi by 2. Pi by 2 means 90 degree. Let us take x equal to 30 degree, or x equal to 45 degree, or x equal to 60 degree. Now what is cos x or cos 30? Cos 30 is equal to root 3 by 2. What is cos 45? Cos 45 equal to 1 by root 2. Cos 60. What is cos 60? 1 by 2. So when x equal to 30 or x equal to 45 degree or x equal to 60 degree, f dash of x becomes a positive quantity. That is, for all values in between 0 to 90, or for any values in this interval 0 pi by 2, f dash of x is a positive quantity. That is, f dash of x is greater than 0, and therefore we can say that in interval 0 pi by 2, the given function f of x is strictly increasing. Okay, strictly increasing. Now listen, the second interval pi by 2 pi. Pi by 2 pi means 90 degree, 180 degree. Let us take angle 120 degree. Clearly 120 degree lies between 90 and 180. What is our f dash of x? F dash of x equal to cos x. Now listen, what is the value of cos 120? Because our aim is f dash of x is greater than 0 or less than 0 in this interval pi by 2 pi. We are going to checking whether f dash of x is less than 0 or greater than 0. For this we want to see what is the value of cos 120. If we know the value of cos 120, we can directly write. Otherwise, find the value of cos 120 as, listen, split 120 as 90 plus 30. Now this becomes an identity cos x plus y. What is cos x plus y? Cos x plus y is cos x cos y minus sin x sin y. Listen, in class plus 1 we learned some results. So apply the result here. Cos x plus y equal to cos x cos y minus sin x sin y. Here x is 90, y is 30. So just replace here cos x cos 90 cos y cos 30 minus sin 90 sin 30. Now what is cos 90? Cos 90 is 0. Therefore this term becomes 0 minus sin 90 is 1. Sin 30 is 1 by 2. 1 into 1 by 2, 1 by 2. So this is negative 1 by 2. Cos 120 equal to negative 1 by 2. Which means in the interval pi by 2 pi, the value of f dash of x, that is value of cos x, is negative. Negative means f dash of x is less than 0. Less than 0 implies the given function f of x is strictly decreasing. Okay, strictly decreasing in the interval pi by 2 pi. So we verified in the interval 0 pi by 2 the given function is strictly increasing, and in the interval pi by 2 pi the given function is strictly decreasing. So this is a method of verifying or checking whether the function is increasing or decreasing in the given intervals. And it is clear that in the interval 0 pi it is strictly increasing as well as strictly decreasing. So we cannot say it is whether increasing or decreasing in the interval 0 to pi. That means function is neither increasing or nor neither decreasing in this interval 0 pi.